if you look closely, and this is good acting on Brian Cox's part, he looks like he's like in between trying to smile and being confused and just like proud of his son all at once, all in just one look.
Hi guys, I'm Sade.
And I'm Dio.
Welcome to the Show Express Pod. Today we'll be talking about Succession. You can catch us on HBO. Don't forget to follow us, rate us, and share this podcast. Now a quick synopsis of the show.
All right, so Succession, this is a very big show. The show is messy, it's intense, and cringe. It will have you grinding your teeth at how money and power can bring out the worst in people. The show opens up with Kendall Roy's utter disappointment when his father made a last-minute decision to not hand over the family business to him, and the business is an international media conglomerate. Kendall's next action to prove his worth spirals out of control and tests everyone's loyalty. Think cutthroat and ambitious. By the way, a little bird says that the show is loosely based on a popular family who owns a global media empire. Well, in the actual show, the CEO, who's the father of Kendall Roy and his siblings, Logan Roy, is played by a guy named Brian Cox, and this guy sure has his kids wrapped around his little finger. It's crazy because you get to see the lengths they go to get his attention. All right, Sade, what got you hooked on this show?
So for me, it was when Kendall double-crossed his father, betrayed him basically, and the aftermath of what happened, right? Because he then did some foul shit that his father used to blackmail him and asked him to recount his testimony and betrayal. So basically, Kendall became like a zombie, right? So whenever he was asked why he had a change of heart, in betraying his father, he would recite this dumbass statement that got people really upset. And the statement was, "I saw their plan, but my dad's plan was better." Like, what in the world? Y'all should listen to this.
The long and the short of it is, I saw their plan, and my dad's plan was better. Look, this is tough.
So? What the fuck happened? Why'd you pull out?
I guess I saw their plan. Dad's plan is better.
Okay. Bullshit.
So that was very wild. Like, Kendall started out with like this, sharp-witted guy who was ready to take over the empire and, knock down everyone in his path. And then he just became the complete opposite.
Right.
Lukewarm, mellow, and just reciting a dumbass statement over and again, like on a replay.
Right.
So that was very shocking and funny to see.
And of course, his dad had a hand behind the whole thing, just like trying to get him to fall in line or just do whatever he wants him to do, right?
Yeah. Papa Roy always gets his way.
That's right.
So what was it for you?
And for me, it's funny how the dad, like you said, just pins them against each other, right? All the kids. And because of that, you never really know who he's backing, right? Like who he's thinking can actually be the guy that would succeed him, right? Hence the show Succession. But the ending of season 2 was probably one of the biggest plot twists in TV history. And what happens is Kendall, he's set to take the fall for some corporate mishap that happens in the company. And this was supposed to take place over a press conference. He would come in and say, hey, I did some wrongdoings, blah, 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 all of that. Instead, he goes in there and surprises everyone by telling the media that you guys must be crazy if you think my dad, the CEO, was not aware of all that was going on. So, blame him, okay? And, they're all watching this. His siblings are watching it. His dad is watching this. And what's crazy about this moment is his dad, the CEO, is just looking at this like, oh, what just happened? But if you look closely, and this is good acting on Brian Cox's part, he looks like he's like in between trying to smile and being confused and just like proud of his son all at once, all in just one look. So it's just crazy, like, because one of the things that he's looking for in his kids is to be cutthroat. And it's crazy, his son has to be cutthroat to him for him to actually start to like give him a bit of respect and be like, okay, I see. I think you're made for this at the end of the day. I mean, I wish you didn't do it to me, but yeah. So that was the craziest. Anybody that watched Succession will tell you that. And in a season 2, if you were still watching it, just kind of like, it's okay. At the end of season 2, you're like, oh my God, season 3 needs to come ASAP.
That was wild. And he just like did a drop mic type of act after that. Like, I'm going to answer questions in the following days. Like, dude, in your face, Dad.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that brings us into like the main characters, right? The first person is Logan Roy, played by Brian Cox. So he was a dad who was playing 3D chess with his children's life. You know, he's supposed to be this top media mogul who has sinister antics and cutthroat behavior, and he's looking for which of his 3 to 4 children. We say 3 to 4. You understand when you watch the show. Who can succeed his empire? And you know, each time he tries to just keep pitching them against each other, and it just gets very dark and sinister as the seasons go by. So that was crazy. The second person is Kendall, the son after his own father. Kendall was played by Jeremy Strong. So Kendall was the presumed heir to the throne, and just in the blink of an eye, Daddy Roy decided not to put Kendall in the role, and you know, Kendall just went ballistic. Like, how dare you? I've been preparing my whole life for this. Now I'm gonna show you what this is gonna cost you. And basically, that's just what happened all through the show and the seasons, right? And so apparently, Jeremy Strong, the actor, right? His co-stars viewed him as a method actor. And so I had to Google that, like, okay, what does that even mean? And so basically, a method actor is an actor who gets so involved and takes this very intense approach to the characters they portray that they even alienate their fellow cast members. Wow. I read where they said that, you know, Jeremy Strong would make sure like he times his makeup appointments to when the other cast members are not around, so he can just be like siloed in. And I think you can see that in his character in the show, where he like alienates himself from his siblings and his dad just to show how you know, strong and ambitious and ruthless he is. So yeah, method acting, that's a whole new dimension to acting. OD. That is OD. Definitely.
Like, hey Jeremy, great scene. It's like, what scene?
Get out of my face.
Get out of my face. Like, I don't know you.
It's like,
what do you mean?
Yo, they said cut, bro.
They said cut. We're out of character. He's like, what character?
What character? This is me. This is who
I'm Kendall. Kendall is I.
Yeah, that's madness. Well, thank God he's married to a psychiatrist, so at least, some Danish psychiatrist. So I guess you can therapize him after his show, because he sure needed it.
Like, you get home like, all right, Kendall's home. Is like, no.
Or Jeremy's home is like, no, this is Kendall. It's like, all right, sit down, sit in the chair.
Sit in the chair.
Let me fix you real quick.
Let's get you out of the sunken place.
For real. You know, and he won an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a Screen Actors Guild Award for his role. All well deserved, because he killed it.
Yep.
He killed it. You know, this guy, I don't think he's one of the main characters. Definitely a supporting character, but he's my favorite character of the show. Greg. Yeah. So Greg was played by Nicholas Braun, and he's Logan Roy's grandnephew, so Logan Roy's brother's grandson. And he was branded the family's interloper. He always had a way of showing up to places he's not supposed to be. And you know, he had this gangly frame and weird, funny, dumb way of talking and reasoning that just made his stupidity even more obvious each time.
And it didn't help that he was like 6'2". He was super tall.
No,
so
he
it
was like 6'5", or
Yeah,
at
he
least both like 6'4".
he was tall, so he was trying to come in just like, oh, I'm just gonna try to blend in. Like, no, Greg, we see you.
We see you
You're
from
right
a mile
there.
away.
What are you here for?
And your foolishness. What you up to now? Get out of
Right.
here, boy. But yeah, well, if we haven't convinced you yet with this interesting storyline about why you should watch the show, Dio, give us the stats.
All right, stats. Well, rating 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb and 95% Rotten Tomatoes. Those are some banging numbers. It's tough to top that, right? So yeah, they're up there. It has 4 seasons. The first season aired in 2018 and the last season aired in 2023. So it's done now. You could catch up on all 4 seasons on HBO. It received 75 Emmy Award nominations and won 19 of those.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of awards
Yep.
to be nominated for and win. And also, the show mirrors some real-world events that will have you steady Googling stuff as you watch. All right, what other shows are out there that we can watch that are similar to Succession?
Okay. So we have a few shows or a couple of shows that we're going to recommend. So they have similar intense storylines with characters who will stop at nothing to get to the top, right? Backstabbing each other, everything, the whole 9 yards. So the first show is Billions. You can catch it on Showtime. This is a show about Wall Street and delves into the cutthroat realm of hedge funds, legal maneuvers, and just some very crazy shit. I guess we might talk about this in a future episode. Who knows? The next show we're going to recommend is Industry. You can catch this on HBO Max. So this is a British-American show that explores the ruthless and competitive world of investment banking, and it follows the life of a group of young graduates as they enter this fast-paced and high-stakes environment in a top investment bank in London. Well, there you have it. Similar shows to watch, and it's going to give you the same vibe as Succession, for sure.
That's right.
So, as always, before we go, we're going to queue up for the next episode that we're going to be talking about.
All right.
You want to do the honors?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be a fan favorite, right? The show that we're gonna be talking about is Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders by the order of the Peaky Blinders. Well, as you guys can see, we're super excited. So stay tuned. Make sure you tune in next week, same time. Don't forget to follow us, rate us, and share this episode. And we'll catch you in the next one.